Welcome back, everybody. It's the Breaklife podcast that happens every Wednesday at 11. Just like already start with like a
Already start with a shill for it.
yeah, every
I
Wednesday at
kind of like that a
11
lot.
p.m.
I kind of like
Yeah,
that a
no, that
lot,
was it,
actually.
by the way. That was the start.
That was that the start.
Yeah. Oh,
Hello, everybody, and welcome back
welcome
to the
back.
Fifth
Welcome
Saint Break
back.
Life podcast. Oh man, yeah, it's finally back. Your favorite show that YouTube puts on while you're falling asleep because you didn't put on a playlist. Hello, Joseph. How are you doing today?
Oh, I'm doing pretty good. I
Fantastic. I'm so happy to hear it.
I've got like a that I think I said I actually don't remember. I think I might have said it on stream, but I got a Ninja Slushie a little while ago.
You, I believe you did say that on stream. Yeah, you got a Ninja Slushie. Pretty
And
fucking cool, if you ask me.
dude, it's actually so goated. I made like a copycat like butter beer from like Universal Studios.
Never been. Super poor.
I've only ever been once, and I don't remember what this shit tasted like, but what I made is goated. It's so good.
I don't remember what their shit tasted like, but if you've had my shit, you won't need it. That's for sure.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. It's goated. I'm sipping on it right now. Goated.
I
Goated.
appreciate the confidence. All right. Very well then. Very well then. How lovely. Got any other cool recipes you'd like to share? Maybe maybe have you tried doing anything with Baja Blast yet? Surely you have, right?
You know, there's a 2 liter sitting in the fridge waiting to be used, but it hasn't been used yet.
Well, it sounds like you have a project for it then, don't you?
Yeah, so we've done root beer. We've done we tried just like a little bit of water and like a Tarani syrup to see what that would do. It was pretty good. Um,
Right.
and then we've done this butter beer, and we're gonna try out. We saw these like the ice cream cone like flavorings. We're gonna try like a blue raspberry one of those,
Ooh, yummy, yummy.
and then
Let me know how that
yeah,
goes.
Baja Blast is on the menu too. I also at Walmart they have these like dragon fruit Mountain Dews.
Oh, I think you've told me, or at least I've seen them. At least I don't know if you
I
told me
would
about them, but
I want to try those too. So
yep, yeah.
I'm sure Stream
Oh,
will 100% hear about it. So
yeah, I was about to say, at the very
uh,
least, I'm sure anybody who watches in the future has that little story to look forward to, I suppose.
I got to start like a mini series. Will it slush?
Will it, dude? Wait, hold up. That's
uh,
actually a genius idea. Hold on. I think Good Mythical Morning probably already did that at
I
some
was gonna
point, but
say
I mean,
I think I've already seen videos like that, but
I'm sure we could just like, take the idea and give absolutely no credit, like you do in this age,
oh yeah, for sure.
and then you get into a beef with Jack's films. But that's like a bonus. You only get that if you're really good at it.
True.
I'll have you know that I've been hearing a lot of bullshit about. So, okay, you obviously know that I like the game Cyberpunk, and you also do as well.
Yep.
I don't. So you are inevitably going to hear stories and tales. Cyberpunk prequel coming out, Night City 2045.
Hmm.
Announced today. You're gonna hear stuff. I'm gonna tell you this and any of our dear listeners right now. It's not anything at all pertaining to like V and Johnny or anything, or like even just that kind of area of the whole like cyberpunk universe, with like the
Oh
relic and
really?
Yorinobu and the Nomads and all that. It's not even like I imagine it'll probably have some level of crossover, but it's not even kind of related. It's a source book for the tabletop RPG game that
Hmm.
is set in 2045, and you do whatever bullshit you do. Which I
Because
thought could maybe also be a fun episode one day, doing doing an actual cyberpunk run of the tabletop game.
because that's what the game is based off of, right? It started as a tabletop game.
Well, yeah. So Cyberpunk itself, yes, it started as the tabletop RPG, and then it released in the state it did, and it just was not at all like. Like it
Hmm.
obviously still has like a choose your class, choose your like build elements,
Hmm.
but like ultimately no, like it's so far from the way they envisioned it at the start, and it was a lot more like the tabletop RPG. Because if I'm not
Well,
mistaken, with some of the things in the RPG are like in the tabletop RPG are like if you choose like a nomad class or something, you're like basically an automatic techie because you know they're all really good with cars and shit, and that's kind of their entire shtick.
no, well, I
Or if
mean,
you choose
I'm
things
saying
like
like
yeah, things like
the story of Cyberpunk started with the tabletop RPG, right?
yeah, no, yeah, no,
Like
that
that's
started back. Yeah, yeah, that was a while ago.
the game itself is very like distinct and different, but like Cyberpunk as like an IP started with that tabletop RPG, right?
Yes, yes, it did. That is
Yeah, yeah.
correct.
But I think that's kind of cool actually.
No, yeah, no, it's definitely not like you know, I'm not saying it's a bad thing about the whole thing or situation, but
I can
it's
see
more
the
so to me
confusion. I
the
can see
way
the confusion. Yeah.
it definitely seems like it's manufactured confusion because I see all the you know news sites on Instagram and you know the Google headline clickbaiters that are like you know new prequel announced for Cyberpunk 2077, and it's like yes it is in the same world, so a 2045 prequel would technically be a prequel to Cyberpunk 2077. That's
Hmm.
not that's but it's obviously like misleading as fuck.
Right.
It's just like sheer technicality, just trying to get you to click on it if you're desperate for more content. Which, by the way, on the like absolute like 10th dimensional coin flip that somebody from CD Projekt Red is watching this shit, just make some fucking new game plus. How hard can it be? And like aside from that, like I'm genuinely like DLC, anything? Like I know we have Phantom Liberty. That shit came out like 6 years ago.
Oh yeah. Damn, has it really been
And
that
like, don't
long
get me
since
wrong, I like
Cyberpunk
that.
released?
I think it's been five. It's either been 5 or 6. Yeah.
Damn.
So no, not since Cyberpunk. Since the or was it? I'm. You know what? To the research corner. Um, Age of Cyberpunk 2077. Not age rating, you fucker. I guess I probably should have just put how old is. 5 years old. Yes, it is five. 5 years
Crazy.
old. The
Dude,
game is
that's
5 years old.
crazy.
I know, yeah. It really doesn't it both does feel like longer and does not feel like that long at all. Because like obviously there was the whole discourse of like, you know, of like, wow, this game is so bad, is like so
Hmm.
it's so buggy, it's the story's so meh. But like we have to remember there was like just an entire fucking like since 2012, I think like buildup of anticipation for the game of like people wanting to like oh my god you know like wow it's going to be just like the tabletop RPG and then you know and then Keanu Reeves gets added to the game and then everybody's like oh my god he's breathtaking and you know it there was like
Yeah,
a
yeah.
whole fucking thing of buildup for the longest time so it felt like it's been out for longer than it has
No, that's so
but
true, actually.
also but also it feels like it hasn't been that long because of the 2.0 patch that fixed the game like you know because that one just came out in 2020 fucking oh god where did I just put my phone Phant- Phantom Liberty came out later is the point so it and that was like the game is fixed update
Right,
so it feels like less time too because you know people have been playing about it and caring about it more when that came out you know
right.
Phantom Liberty release date 2023 yeah so it's been September 26th 2023 so it's been a little under 3 years. So, you know, that would just be my sort of take on things, I guess.
Right.
But yeah, no, that's just my little PSA to anybody. If you care about the cyberpunk world at all, don't be fooled. It's not a new video game. It's literally just like if you've never played the tabletop RPG, I also haven't, but from what I hear, it's kind of just Robo Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah, for the most part.
And like I've played one game, one singular game of Dungeons and Dragons and quit because the group I was playing with, I'm not sure we can say, I'm not sure I can, theorize what was wrong with them on the platform we're currently on. So I'm not going to.
Oh, that's how you know it's good.
But
That's how you know that there's a
the point,
thought that needs to be heard there. That's fine.
but the point be, um, yeah, no, I tried. I granted, I don't get super into a lot of like nerd games like that, but I tried. I did try.
Right.
Um, but if you haven't played the tabletop RPG, I haven't either, so don't worry. Um, I can't really say if it's, you know, like fun or anything. I really just can't. So I say absolutely like look into it if you're interested, but don't be fooled by the clickbait of oh it's a brand new cyberpunk story because it is, but there's like the biggest fucking asterisk there. Asterisk, you're sitting down for like 5 or 6 hours at a time with snacks and your group of sweaty friends to play a game. But that's my little starting factoid for the day. I got not upset by it because to say I was upset by it is like it, it's a fucking internet thing that probably only I've seen, like.
Right.
But yeah, no, it's just because like I know I personally like one of the biggest like things that I'm excited for, even just like looking forward to in like the gaming news right now is anything regarding Cyberpunk Orion,
Oh yeah, yeah.
which this is not, if I'm not mistaken, this 2045 is not. Um, but I'm looking forward to it, and then obviously you have all these like new story announced clickbait headlines, and I'm like, dude, can you like fuck off with this and not play with my emotions? And obviously that's what they're trying to do is they're just trying to get the clicks from the people like me. But like I'm excited for that shit. So it's like of course I'm gonna keep up with news for it.
Right. Because I mean, and Cyberpunk 2 is such an interesting story because like the state it was in when it first released kind of put a lot of people off of it. Like people decided not to get it or play it because of
Right.
the original state. But now, just about anyone who like you can talk to who's played Cyberpunk will like kill somebody for more content in it, like from it.
Seriously, like
Like,
one of my I genuinely start to get filled with dread once I see the only quests left are, the racing ones or the fucking
hmm
tarot quests or the like all of just like the bullshit that you don't really care about. I'm like, dude, no, I don't. I already played through Phantom Liberty. What else am I gonna do now? That's
right,
another PSA. If you have Phantom Liberty, play through it at the same time as you're doing the main story. It helps a lot better. It helps make the game a lot smoother, and you're gonna understand a lot more later. And there's some cool extra voice lines added. I know I like because with Cyberpunk 2, right? It You're right. It is an interesting situation. I think more so because Cyberpunk 1, you're right. There was the whole anticipation for it, and then the release was just a giant fucking letdown.
hmm
But I think more so now because they don't really have to like cater to the lower end consoles. So
right,
I wonder what the like new amount of like things they can do is.
right, yeah,
I would like to see sort of like that system that was promised of like making it like the tabletop RPG and like The thing, one of my biggest problems with Cyberpunk is that the like life path that you choose at the start only matters for the start. It only
Mm-hmm.
matters for the starting mission, you know? And
I know,
like
like, depending on what you choose, you could have, there's like two dialogues that can be changed because of it, and that's it.
yeah, but they're later in the game and they affect
Dick
literally
all. They,
nothing.
nothing, nothing at all. Yeah.
Like it is exclusively just like a little funny little, oh hey, this thing is a reference to earlier.
Mm-hmm.
And then like I guess you can get V's car from the Nomad path, but that's about where it stops.
Right.
So I want to see more of like a, oh, if I select a class at the start, like I was saying earlier, I want to see if I select a class at the start, I want to see it have like an effect on like maybe my starting skills or like, maybe
Right.
like my standing in this city or something, you know?
Right.
Because
No, I
like
agree.
it feels like, like people who would know V from like the corpo life path in the city kind of just forget way too quickly, and then V is just again like a nobody. I feel like it would be fun if like you still had your corporate alliances and whatnot because of like your trust and whatnot of like the company, you know?
Right.
Or again, like the example I was talking about earlier with the Nomad thing of like if you choose Nomad, just allow us to have like slightly better technical ability at the start because like oh we nomads spend their life fixing cars, they would know what the machinery and shit is about it, you know.
Right.
And so like I that's one of my biggest wish lists is that like I just want like I fucking want a class that actually means something, you know.
Y- Yeah. I, I wonder from like a gameplay standpoint though, like how much work would be put into that though, right? Because it's what Nomad, Corpo, and Street Kid. Is that what the?
Nomad, Corpo, and Street Kid, and again
Yeah.
they don't affect anything is the point. And I've
But
we've seen that class-based gameplay can work with Baldur's Gate. Baldur's Gate does like you choose this class, it kind of affects that kind of thing somewhat really well.
right.
So we know it can be done, and CD Projekt Red made The Witcher, they made Cyberpunk 1, they made so many giant large-scale products and projects that I'm sure there's no shot they can't at least attempt it, you know?
True. True. I just like to play devil's advocate a little bit. Like I wonder how much more time needs to go into like making that a possibility, you know?
Right, yeah. Well, because, yeah, that's another thing to take into factor is that Cyberpunk was announced in like the early 2010s, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And it came out, it's been 5 years, so it would have came out in 2021, I think, is how that works mathematically.
Right.
Unless I didn't see the day or something, but just for consistency's sake, we'll say it came out in 2021.
Right.
That's fucking a little under or a little over, depending on 11 years of development for just Street Kid and then Corpo and Nomad. I can only imagine that adding all these other things, unless they kind of find out like a more efficient way to do it, would be just ridiculous.
Right.
Because again, like Corpo, they do kind of affect some dialogue. With Corpo, I can think of like the most specific examples of this, but there is like dialogue options that are available to you based on your life path, like with different characters, like if you're a street kid, you know a lot about the illicit substances that the Maelstrom guy hands you. If you're a nomad, you kind of can talk to Pan Am and the nomads a little bit easier, and corpos can like boss people around more. They have more like confidence and charisma sort of thing.
Right.
So there are like some level of like skill checks that are class based in Cyberpunk, but in Cyberpunk 2, assuming that's what it's called, I want there to be like less focus on like dialogue based. like choices and things like that, and more on like gameplay focused things, you know?
Hmm. Like have it actually have an effect on like how the game um goes.
Yeah. Because I think like a pretty big understanding now of a game like Cyberpunk 2 and a game like GTA 6 is that when they're released, they're going to have staying power. So we're probably not going to see another entry. Cyberpunk 2 needs to be able to compete with GTA 5 in a way that I just sadly felt that Cyberpunk 1 was lacking, you know? The online.
Yeah.
The fucking
If that's
online needs to
even
be revamped.
something that they want to do.
That well, yes, of course, if that's something they want to do, but then also that would kind of play more into the whole like, you know, classes thing where there'd probably be way too many classes at that point. But I mean, you know, you could like balance it out probably, you know, have like five or so classes that you could choose from.
Right.
Because I think in the tabletop RPG, you can do things, and of course, you know, this is a lot easier to say because those are fucking books and paper that you use your imagination for. But with the tabletop RPG, you can be a Ripper Doc and like start your own clinic and fucking like build your way up to like corpo status or become like the best black market Ripper Doc if you want. You can genuinely do like a lot of shit with classes in that game. And I'm not asking for, you know, the ability to be, you know, NCPD, Ripper Doc, Corpo, Street Kid, Nomad, Scavenger, fucking Maelstrom. You know, like I'm not asking for that ability. You know, I'm not. But like even three classes, even just the three classes that we have now with gameplay based like differences would be cool in Cyberpunk 2.
No, I agree. And I think because like we've seen a little bit or at least like we can infer a little bit with like how GTA 6 has been like delayed over and over is like you kind of have to have cool mechanics like that to really drive the like hype for your game. Like because GTA 6 has been hyping up like the cool mechanics that it's gonna have.
Well, I don't I from what I've heard, I've actually been told that like the guy who's like working on it, like the head leader or whatever his fucking name is, he said that people will initially be like pretty
Yeah,
disappointed.
so but that's still I mean like I think that's because like on a surface level it won't like I don't know, it won't feel too different at least as far as from what I've heard, but like people have talked like I've seen articles and stuff about like how NPC interactions are going to be completely different and how I saw and this is like this is all from Instagram Reels, so I don't know what's real and what's not, but there was something that was like um it threw out some bullshit number. I think it was over 50% of buildings are going to be enterable in GTA 6 and I was like, "What the fuck?" Like there's no
Mm.
shot. But things like that, like I wonder how like if the technology to make games has come far enough to do things like that. Like I wonder if that even is a possibility.
I'm sure it is, you know, because like we've seen some crazy things that like games can do now too with that kind of
Right.
uh, uh, you know, Baldur's Gate kind of being one of the examples I can, you know, just genuinely think of right off of the bat because truthfully, yeah, class-based gameplay is kind of hard to do in a video game, you know, and
Yeah.
it would be difficult to implement without somewhat taking inspiration or copying Baldur's Gate, but yeah, no, like yeah. I genuinely forgot what I started with that sentence with. I'm really actually trying to remember what the fuck did I start that sentence with? See, you don't have it either.
No, I don't know. Um,
Anyway, um, GTA 6 is going to be like one of those things where when it releases, right? people are going to be disappointed, but then I think once they see it compared to GTA 5, then they'll kind of lighten up about it. With Cyberpunk 2 and Cyberpunk 1, I feel like if we're not fully upgrading everything, like people are going to be mad or upset at the least because like you were promised so much with this first Cyberpunk game and now there's just so much that you could deliver on now that you don't have to account for the PlayStation 4 and
Right,
in theory don't have to account for lower end hardware or things like that, you know.
right.
Like a
And they
PlayStation 5 can probably do just about most things you might want to do in a modern Cyberpunk game.
right. And like
Modern like it wasn't 5 years ago, but you know what I mean.
but like and that's interesting too, because like the way that they did the like optimization for the first Cyberpunk because it was on like the low because it was going to be on the lower end consoles. Um, like it's crazy like the way that they had to optimize some of those things. Um,
Right.
and so like I wonder if like without that restriction, what that looks like, you know?
Yeah. And then I had another like just, food for thought. We say, and it is true that Cyberpunk 1 took fucking for consistency's sake. We'll say 10 year. What do we say 10 years to release or
Yeah.
11? What one of the two. 10 or 11 years to release. Yeah, if it was announced in like 20, we'll say 2012 and it released in 2021. So yeah, we'll say 9 years. We'll say 9. We'll be generous and say 9. That would have been like even announced in 2012. They were working on like lower end hardware for most of that thing, and then eventually
Right.
we still got something pumped out that was playable on PS4s on at lower end hardware. I mean older hardware is what I meant, but um and not like now that made something that can be played on, basically any modern console and look fucking gorgeous. So I'm wondering now, like if we are able to like, if we are able to like use the modern development tools that we have and whatnot for video games like on PlayStations and Xboxes and Switch 2s, then the development would in theory go somewhat faster, to do things like the um the class mechanic, Jesus fuck.
Right.
Like the advancement in hardware, like now that because they've announced Cyberpunk Orion, which is widely considered that's the biggest thing about it is that Cyberpunk Orion is not actually real yet. Even like announcement
No,
wise,
it's in like
they've only
pre
briefly talked about it,
it's in pre-production, right?
Yeah, like I wouldn't be surprised if they're still storyboarding the fucker,
Oh
like
yeah, pre-production, yeah.
they've been like basically there's been nothing so far. That's what's important to remember about Cyberpunk Orion. It hasn't even been announced yet. And the PlayStation 5 Pro already came out. PlayStation 6 talks are already happening. Xbox is supposed to be releasing a new console. Of course, all of these things I personally don't think are necessary. I think the 5 Series X and Switch 2 should be enough to get us through things for a while unless some serious advancements are made.
That's what I'm saying, because like where else can you even go?
I don't think you can, honestly.
That's right. Like I feel like we've kind of reached a like a standstill almost.
At this point I feel like we kind of have, and but you know what, that's I would argue that that's kind of perfect because for the gaming industry right now the best thing these companies could be doing is focusing on, get this, games.
Games.
Like if we've kind of reached peak of where we're getting in terms of fucking like console design, console power, console utility, why are we even spending more time thinking about, yeah, okay, you know what, like fine, PS5 Pro, I still think that one's unnecessary, but I will even give you that, you know
Right.
like okay, fine, yes, like What the fuck? Why is my PlayStation Plus offline? Sorry. um, fucking here. You continue if you had any things to add. I have to sign into something real quick.
Oh no, you're good. Um, no, I completely agree though. That, like, because we've reached a standstill, at least it feels like it. I mean, who knows what like Xbox or Sony or even Nintendo are cooking up, but for the most part, it feels like there's not really any big upgrades that can be made. Um,
Right.
so I agree that it should definitely like work should just be put into making games like that,
You know,
using
like we should
like coming up with some cool mechanics, maybe like a class system
exactly. You
and
know, and like
incorporating in
of
the
course
games.
that would require time and work, but especially a company like CD Projekt Red because they don't make consoles, but more so a company like Sony or something. You know, like fuck off, focus on some damn original titles or something, and everything will
Yeah.
work out for you. I don't know if you can hear my PlayStation in the background, but it's making an appearance now because everything's just hunky dory in La La Land.
I can hear it a little
Okay,
bit.
I'm back on PS Plus. What the fuck? I don't know what the hell that was. Anyway, I just want to fly around in GTA Online, and I can't. But yeah, no, like so I think if we genuinely just like spend some time focusing on games for a while, if I had a wish list, you know, if I had a wish list for like a PS6 or something, I don't know. I feel like the world could kind of be moving closer to like VR shit, you know, because we've made some pretty good advancements with VR and whatnot, you know. The Quest 3 is arguably pretty cool, you know. I only have a Quest 2, but like the ability to do a lot of like, you know, the like VR games that are released now, like just completely standalone from a giant bulky computer setup, that's pretty fucking cool.
Right.
And it's only getting better with things like the Vision Pro or the Android Go XR, Android GXR, something like the Android XR, something like that. It's a Galaxy product. I know it works like basically specifically with Galaxy phones. Um, but I unironically cannot remember the name right now. Either way, the point is, it's a competitor to the Apple Vision Pro.
Oh, okay, okay. Yeah, that checks out actually.
And I've been hearing it's pretty decent. You know, the AR is not as good, but in terms of VR wise, I've been hearing some pretty decent things about it. You know, the screens are not better than Apple, but they work like with the system more, you know.
Right.
I don't know if that even makes sense in any way, shape, or form, but I'm going to assume it does.
Um, no, actually, yeah, because I haven't really kept up with VR. Um, it's not,
The most I've heard about it recently was with the release of that one boys game, that one the boys game that was well, literally its entire thing was just like the boys VR. Like that was the entire thing about it. From what I heard, it was not an original story or a super original story or anything. It was literally just you get to experience Butcher in VR, and that sounds pretty cool.
I didn't even
Imagine
hear
if you
about
could do
that
that on a
one.
PlayStation 5 VR. That would be pretty cool. You didn't hear about the boys V? Yeah, okay.
No,
So I imagine it was to promote season what are we on 5? I
5,
imagine it
yeah.
was to promote season 5. Um and yeah, no, it came out and it did not get the best reviews, but yeah, it's you get to hear Oi in third person and it's pretty cool. And sorry, in 3D and it's pretty cool.
Huh. Yeah, I don't think
He all goes like Oi, Erie, this is my shit.
wait, Yui, oh man, did I
When
kill
I'm
me
landed
bloody wine?
I'm landed done took me bloody son.
Oh,
Oh my fucking god. So yeah, anyway, The Boys VR came out and I liked that, you know. I really liked or well, I liked it, you know. I like anything in VR that's like a a collaboration, because then it's like, holy crap, is this really what Spider-Man sees when he swings? Wow.
Right, yeah.
It's pretty cool, admittedly, you know? And this is also a big ask, I know. Maybe some amount of VR integration with Cyberpunk 2. This is a big ask, I know. I understand that that is like, what the fuck would you even do with it? But I don't know. I think maybe like an optional, like, if you have a VR thing for your PlayStation or for your PC or something, you could like do a quest that involves you actually going into a brain dance and reliving a brain dance or something. You know,
Mm,
that could be pretty fun.
right.
Obviously, you wouldn't get like the feelings and the synapses firing the same, but that it would be like the best use I could think for of something for like a PS6 having better VR integration. You know,
Right.
like the ability to just kind of like, if you have one, set up an entirely new quest basically with it. You know. And again, with modern hardware, that would be just fucking disgustingly difficult. But again, we're talking about like a theoretical wish list for the PS6. That would be pretty cool, you know?
Yeah, yeah. I
Or
am
maybe glasses that you wear, like when they had the PS3 3D TVs, then they gave you the glasses that were really dorky and they looked like Ian's glasses from fucking Alvin and the Chipmunks. I
uh
think if you like maybe put those on your face and then like, holy shit, the lights are not as bright and flashy because that's an epilepsy warning, but now I'm in a brain dance instead of looking at my TV. That's really cool, you know? Anyway, it's just that's just just an idea I
no,
had
yeah, it's
for that.
because like VR has come a long way too, like hardware wise.
It
Because
has. You go for it. Actually, you talk for a
no,
sec.
no, I remember like kind of first. I've never really like been one to like want to do VR. Um, I haven't really cared about VR, but I remember getting into a little bit and like forever ago, and I was like, oh, this is kind of cool. But it didn't seem to like be going too far, and now all of a sudden like people have the fucking like Ready Player One setups. Like they've got the like vests that will
Like the
simulate real
vested shit, yeah.
damage, or like the
The
treadmills that'll
like
keep them in place, and it's like what the
the
fuck?
full body
Like
tracking suits and
yeah,
shit. Like,
yeah, like
no, VR is kind of scary now a little bit, but that's another big thing about it too, is that we also can't really pussy out on it, you know? Like we have VR going so well right now, I feel like, but companies like mainly PlayStation, I think Meta still kind of somewhat wants to keep it alive because they still want to be the Oasis, you know, like you were saying, Ready Player One. But Sony, I don't know if you heard, killed support for their PlayStation VR 2.
really,
Yeah, they did that a good minute ago too. Like, this is not new news or anything, but yeah, so VR2 is just like, basically it is like you could still use a VR2 on it, and all the games that were there, you could still buy them, you could still play them. But they are like basically not making any more games for it, and any games that are released are going to be third party, and that's if there are any released.
huh? Interesting.
So Sony does not care anymore about VR, I think, and that's because, you know, they kind of gave it a good they gave it a good college try with hardware. That's the thing though, is that they can't they kind of pussied out on it, you know. They gave the hardware all they had, and it was pretty good. From what I heard, people really liked the PSVR 2.
Yeah, yeah,
But it's just, games wise, you can't justify spending that much on a piece of face plastic that allows you to play VR chat, you
right.
know, and nothing but that. Because one of like a PlayStation VR 2, you obviously have to have a PlayStation 5 for, so that's already, you're in for now about $600,
Yep.
and then another 200 or 300, depending on tariffs and deals and whatnot, for the VR headset itself. So you are looking at close to about $1,000 for a PlayStation headset setup, whereas I bought my Quest 2 for $200 on a whim from Target.
Yep.
I'm not gonna lie, I miss having a full-time paycheck. I really do. But then we
Um,
wouldn't be able to do break life.
yeah, yeah,
Or we would, and I'd probably have more stories. But you know what? I can't be fucked. It's my happiness over money every time.
true, very true. Well, yeah,
But
I
like even
guess.
as go for it. Good. That's good. I'm telling you, it's gonna be a compilation one day.
No, no, no. You go for it. I'm not sure I had my thought fully out yet.
I was gonna say even outside of like the VR space too. Like the PS6 could kind of like wow us with like a new controller. Like this controller, pretty cool. Don't get me wrong. The DualSense 2 is a looker. I can't lie. It's pretty dang cool. You know what would be even cooler is if my controller became a cooler. Like literally, like if I'm like in a snowy area in a game and my controller just started to become cold.
Yes, I don't know um how close that technology is, but have you seen? Hold on, let me. Sony
We're
has
talking
a
about wish lists, Joseph. Like
no,
I'm
true,
this
true,
is a
true.
wish.
Well,
This is my
I
genie giving me these.
um I agree. That'd be really cool. Like that would be like I wonder what the technology would look like to do that. But have you seen the patent stuff for the new
The
controller that
screen,
Sony put out?
the screen controller. Yes, I have
Yeah.
seen that.
Have you seen that?
I am not sure how I feel about it, honestly,
Me either. It looks strange.
because I grew up like if I couldn't like connect a controller to it and bring it with me on like a kickstand or something, I did not play a mobile game. I could not fucking stand well unless it was something simple like Subway Surfers or
Hmm.
fucking something like that. But like I cannot fucking stand glass controls. I cannot stand them.
Right.
Like they're constantly inaccurate. My finger is like when I'm playing, my hands get warm. You know what? You know what comes out of hands when they're warm? Grease. You know what doesn't look good on a giant fucking pane of black glass? A lot of grease.
Right.
It's I don't know. It's like I think anything that touches your hands should be matte. I think it should be matte. I think it should be brushed. I think it should be, like stripped. I don't you should not be touching glossiness with your hands unless they're gloved. That's how I feel about it.
Hmm.
And that honestly that goes for anything. That goes for phones, that goes for controllers, that goes for fuck Nintendo and the new 3DS XL. That shit goes for you too, new 3DS. I am never gonna forget about the fact that that shit was just glossy, and I held it for hours at a time, and then I would always have to wipe it off, and it would sound like I was wiping off a fucking like a plate or something. I was wiping crust off a plate or some shit.
See, but it
That was
like
pissed me off, man.
the idea, because I kind of agree with you. Like, I feel like because not only like the screen aspect of it, and like smudges and having to wipe it off, but also the like, how is this thing gonna handle controller like dead zones and like
Exactly.
stick sensitivity and stuff? Like,
No, exactly. And I imagine that's probably like what one of like the selling points would be like, oh, never deal with stick drift again if you don't have
right,
sticks. But it's like, yeah, but if you don't have sticks, then like you can't make like micro movements that you need, which you already
right,
can't do like as much as you can on PC. So you're already accepting some compromises in this gaming market. Why would you take yourself even further out of the like console gene pool?
right.
I'll tell you what, that's
I don't
my
know.
wish. That's my wish for this wish list is that they just scrap the whole fucking idea. They just
Well,
write the whole thing off as taxes and say we just wanted it so Nintendo couldn't have it.
I do. I think because everybody like it's everybody has their own preferences, right? So like I'm sure this controller is good for somebody. I just hope it's not the default
for
for
a
a
new
play
PlayStation.
like for a new PlayStation, like that's
Yes, yeah.
because the idea of
Which
this
I mean,
controller,
in that case, I
like
imagine they would let you like bring over a DualShock or something or a DualSense, but
right, like the idea of this controller is kind of cool, right? Like no stick drift, purely like a screen almost. Like it, for the flaws that I personally have with it, if they could get it right, that's kind of cool. Like, but
it's just the thing is we've seen this whole concept of a controller with a screen in it, and you know the fuck what? We didn't accept it. We couldn't just be happy with what we had with the Wii U. So you know what? We don't fucking
yeah.
deserve the play. Okay, we don't deserve the PlayStation. Okay, we do not we do not need to try it again because Nintendo already tried it. And if we let Sony get away with it, that's just favoritism. That is just favoritism. And I'm not a Nintendo fanboy, but that is unfair. And the Wii U needs another shot. And I mean, also there's kind of that idea too present in something like the Switch or the Steam Deck with a controller with a screen, but even still, those more so appeal to the portable market though.
Yeah, yeah. Because the Switch is less of like a because it's got the sticks, right? Like it's got the actual controllers, like the controller
It
aspects
has
of
the
it, like
yeah, it has real controller ability, yeah.
controller aspects, I guess. It has all of them. This controller, I have the patent pulled up, like on my second monitor. Like it has nothing. It's just a screen. Like that's
It's
it.
just a flat piece of metal, yeah, or not metal, but probably glass.
It's like the PS5 controller now, but if the touchpad were the entire thing, like
Yeah, yeah, basically, yeah.
is what it looks like anyway. But
And you know what? Yeah, like you said, if they can get it right, there could be some cool
right, like
there could be some cool uses for that.
they'd have
Like
to get it right though. That's the
you could
thing.
have something you could maybe show something on the top screen and then like in like a game like Jackbox or something, you could show something on the main TV screen and then one of the fucking screen controllers has the information or something.
Right. Or like
Or maybe
you
just an entire party game with features like that, like Nintendo did with 1-2 Switch.
right. Or like you could do, you couldn't make the controller cold, but you could display like a freezing something on the controller itself. Like
Right, like do a fun
that'd
little
be
animation on it or
yeah,
something. Yeah.
yeah. That'd be kind of cool. Match it to the environment of the game. Like that, like, you know.
Right, because like if I could see like this controller work. Here's okay, you know what? We're starting a new wish list for the controller. If they do make the controller, what I could see like being cool about it, right, is if they fucking give it little grips, give it like little thighs so I can hold on to the fucking thing.
Well, you've seen the
And
patent,
then
right?
I think I've seen an early version of the patent. I don't think I've seen like the one that was fully filed, no. I remember seeing it looked like a soap dish. It looked like a soap dish, and it had two little circles on a screen, which I took to be digital joypads,
What would be the easiest thing to send this to you
not
on so you
joystick.
can see what I'm looking at?
Probably Discord. Honestly, I have that open for the call right now.
Okay. This is what I'm looking. I don't know exactly if this is
Here, I got to
the
pull over in GTA. I don't want to look at my phone while I'm driving.
I don't know if this is like the actual thing, but this is what I've seen. Like this is kind of what the basis of what I've seen.
Oh, okay. I have not seen that one.
This is this
Here,
is
let me look up screen
this is more often than not
control
what I see when I hear about this patent. Because it's the
touchscreen
shape of a
controller
controller.
PlayStation.
It's the shape of a controller. It's just all like a touchpad.
I may not see the one that I was looking for, honestly. But this is not the one I saw. No, the one I saw did not have thighs. It was like an oval with just like black glass on it that had
Oh,
display,
what?
basically.
Oh, hell no, no, yeah.
But okay, like looking at this one though, it okay. So like okay, okay. So my biggest thing with that, okay, then it has the thighs. Then it has the thighs to hold on to it like an actual fucking controller. But it does need sticks, you know. And the patents that I was looking at when I looked up the one that I was trying to find right now on Google, they all had like kind of what I want to see. They're all AI generated, but you know,
Yeah,
it's kind of what
yeah.
I was just about to talk about, you know, when I started my whole thighs segment, you know, which, you know, thighs. But also it was literally what I was getting ready to also add to it was I want to see like because we have phones now that have cameras that have hole punches, you know, in the screen. So it's a full circle of screen around a little punch out of camera, you know? Like it connects at the top. It's like there's just a circle in the fucking thing. We do not have to make notches anymore. We don't have to make teardrops anymore. I would like to see like a cutout of the screen, maybe, and it sort of, you know, put the sticks up through that, you know? Like imagine the punch out that your camera, like if you go to like look at your phone, if you know what, listener, you could do this too. It's a fun experiment. We're gonna do a little interactive experiment with you. If you, as the listener and as Joseph, go look at your phone, if you have an Android, a recent Android, you're gonna see a cutout on the front camera. You're gonna see a cutout, a hole punch, and that is what is called a hole punch camera lens, and that's commonly used on front-facing cameras on Android phones, as well as the more recent iPhone models, of course. Um, that would be a really cool idea, you know, like just to have that and then have a giant stick coming up through it, and that's your little touch stick, you know.
Yeah, well, because I don't know, the ones I've seen, well, because right, I don't think anybody knows exactly how this controller works. It's still in patent form, so
Still in patent, yeah.
nobody truly knows. But I think the idea is it would be like a at least how I would assume is like it would work like a like the Minecraft like mobile joystick. It's like
Yes,
it's
that's
flat on the
exactly what that's
screen.
what I
Yeah.
assume. That's what I assume they have it set up as now, but like I'm thinking more so like that would be like a way for me to like be okay with a screen controller, you know, is like if it has at
Mm-hmm.
least a 50% screen to body ratio, I will give it the title of screen controller, honestly. So punching a couple holes in the screen, sticking some little control sticks up through them, that is still enough to constitute screen controller, in my opinion. And then even still after that, you could put a fucking square button on it, at least that, you know. And I would still, after that point though, you know, yeah, the flat buttons, the screen buttons would have to, you know, be that would make the most sense, you know. But triggers would at least be also like a very good like necessity on a controller like this too. I couldn't see if there were one or were triggers on there. I just saw the
I
front
don't
facing patent that you sent.
the the picture that I have pulled up doesn't say whether or not. I would assume, but
I yeah, so I, you know, along those same lines of like the wish list for the controller, it would need to have triggers at least. You know, I guess I could live with it existing if it, you know, doesn't have hole punch cutout sticks, but I wouldn't be okay with it existing, you know, if it doesn't even have triggers either. You know, if like just everything is on the fucking screen, you know,
right.
like above the fucking like square circle X triangle button, you have a fucking two column button thing that's just R1 L1, R R2 L2, you know, that would piss me off. That was one of like the best additions to the DualSense from the DualShock was the adaptive triggers. That would be something that would be
Yes,
necessary on it too, I feel like.
I would agree. No, because it's strange because like you're still holding a controller, right? But it adds like a depth to the immersion that you maybe wouldn't have expected, you know?
I yes, absolutely, I agree.
So I
And then
I I think they would definitely have to like maybe even like try to upgrade that if they could.
oh yes, absolutely. Like yes, how it works right now is, you know, beautiful, mwah, magnifique, but if we could have it like actually shoot the trigger back up when you're shooting a gun in a game, that would be pretty cool.
Oh,
it does it okay, it asterisk does now, but it's so faint that it might as well not even have that feature in its like title, you know? Like it does technically vibrate your thing in such a way that it'll make it harder to push down so it'll feel like it gets pushed back up, but it doesn't actually get pushed like back up like a fucking
Yeah.
trigger reset, you know? That would be a pretty cool thing to have in a thing right now. Holy shit, I ended up on Grove Street. OGS. Which that's another thing too. Um I want I want GTA 6 to have CJ. I don't care if it this is just another add-on to the GTA 6 wish list that we've had going. I want GTA 6 to have CJ, at least in some reference. And if it doesn't, I'm going to be pissed. I don't care if it wasn't the town he was in. I want more reference to CJ. But with this screen too, the screen controller, you know, not to flip flop topics like that, but the screen controller too, it would I think another cool thing I the HD rumble on this controller on the DualSense, right? It's pretty cool. You know, I can feel raindrops on my car in GTA. I can feel fucking like the tiniest little like vibrations behind my character in a game. I can feel the fucking like change in texture beneath my skateboard wheels and skate for fuck's sake.
Yeah, yeah.
The HD rumble is pretty fucking cool. I personally would be willing to trade that in for like the screen itself showing those kinds of effects, you know. Like obviously it would be difficult again, but this is in theory for a controller that has not even been conceived yet, you know.
Well, no, it's definitely been conceived because that's what the patent is.
I meant more so conceived as in like created, like the controller does not exist, and I can guarantee you it is
No,
not in prototype phase yet. There is no shot it's in prototype phase.
well, no, that's what the patent is. You can't make
In
a patent.
proto That means it's in prototype phase.
Yeah, yeah. Well,
I thought it was more so
pseudo.
you had the like you had it like written like everything, all the concept for it written down and
You
whatnot.
have it like technically correct. As far as I'm aware, you have to have something to show. So it's like they probably have more like conceptual um diagram based, but they have, unless I'm wrong, they have to have like something to prove that this is like something they want to do. So they might have like a very rough prototype, probably not a good prototype, but a very like conceptual prototype of like this is how it could be, not,
Okay,
like
so then I guess I'll rephrase to sort of my sentence. I'll rephrase it to say, since you and like I are kind of talking about theoretical hypotheticals for a controller that has not even been sort of refined yet, you know, it has
Yeah,
been
okay,
like
yeah,
it's
that's yeah,
literally just fucking sawed out of wood basically so far.
basically, yeah.
Um, you know, no sanding, no lacquer, no sealants. This shit is basically brand new as a baby, so details can still be added. I think
True.
something that would be cool for it is if we could put into games like Skate theoretically, or like no, actually let's talk about GTA, you know. Say you're in water. The screen displays water.
Right?
So instead of feeling the bubbles slash slosh by you in I'm not gonna I think it's in fucking either Subnautica or Cyberpunk that happens. But in one of those games, when you fall in the water, you can feel the bubbles rise up in the controller. It's really cool. What if instead
Right.
of that, you just see the bubble animation on the screen? I would be willing to trade that in. That would be a fun gimmick. They have to put good battery life on this thing. I should really like slow it all the way down and run it all the way back. This controller, first and foremost, needs better battery life. My dual sense lasts for like an hour, it feels like, maybe.
What do you Oh, bro, my dual sense will go for like almost a whole day of me being on my PS5 before it feels like it needs to charge.
Really? Is that because
Yeah.
every controller that I have, even new ones, it feels like like I don't get that much playtime at all. I yield. I'm being exaggerative when I say 1 hour, but it definitely feels like less than 3, honestly.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess I should specify that that's how it feels, but I don't
To
know.
chew five gum,
Oh yeah,
simulate your gum.
like it feels like my controller lasts a little while, but there's every chance it doesn't.
And yeah, that's just another big thing is that we can't really confirm or deny because I can't say that I've ever cared to do controller battery life tests. And also I feel like they'd be inaccurate anyway, you know? Like unless you're doing like full on like constant button presses and shit like an actual game player, you know? You're not gonna get a real battery life test, you know? Because that's what I think the battery life tests are based on is I remember hearing about this controller's battery life. I remember hearing 5 hours at minimum. And I looking back at it now, I'm like, okay, was that just sitting on the fucking home menu or was that actually playing a game? Because yeah, when I'm sitting on the home menu and I'm just scrolling reels because I'm doom scrolling and forgot I turned on my PlayStation, my controller will unironically probably sit there for 2 weeks, like
Right?
untouched battery wise. But
It could go for a while, yeah.
if I'm like even remotely pressing buttons or something, it feels like it drains it pretty quickly. And then, not to mention most games have some form of LED effect in the controller. That's another battery suck. And from what I've heard,
Right.
the more adaptive trigger, like the more strong adaptive trigger effects you have in a game, like with cars and shit, you are familiar with how the adaptive triggers work, right?
Yeah, I believe so.
Okay, so for anybody who's not, it's just basically a small like motor that controls a little stick in the thing that pushes up against a nub on the trigger that makes it slightly more difficult to push down or slightly easier to push down depending on how much the motor is turning the little stick against the nub.
Right.
That is your like basic ass explanation for it. Remember this chat, you will be quizzed. I know you're called Chowder now, but whatever. Um so it the more like driving effects you have in a game per se, because that's going to have the trigger be like a pedal, like a gas pedal where it presses down slowly and rises slowly and whatnot. um that's going to drain up battery life because it's using it on putting the controller's little stick thingy up, little analog
Yeah,
stick
yeah.
thing. It's going to worry about putting that up. That's going to drain battery life. So with all these things, it's like, okay, battery life is already terrible on this. If I hear anything less than 10 hours as the estimate from these fuckers at PlayStation, I don't want this controller to exist. I don't even care if I don't have to buy it. I don't even want it to exist because it sets a bad precedent that we're just going to accept shitty battery life products like that. And like my watch lasts for like 2 days and it has an OLED live wallpaper on it. Granted, that's if I'm like, really being cautious about like usage and whatnot, but it's also a watch. I literally just look at it for like 2 seconds of my day. So I don't know how
Right.
much that's saying, So take that with a grain of salt. But if LEDs and a little tiny motor add that much battery drain to something like the DualSense 2, I don't think it's called DualSense 2. I think it's just called DualSense. If that adds that much to the DualSense, a screen on that fucker?
Oh yeah, that would
A
be crazy.
screen? LED, OCD, LEOCD? I don't fucking care. There is no screen you can put in a DualSense type controller that will not basically make it a wired controller. Which newsflash, that's one of the fucking bigger reasons that the Dreamcast died was because it fucking like the not like that it had a wire, but the wire was just too fucking short, by the way. That is just first of all, wires are stupid. Like the fact that I'm connected to my PlayStation 5 right now because my controller's almost dead, that's annoying. Wires are stupid. So if my screen controller, I'm already trading off quite a bit by having a screen controller. If I'm trading off the ability to freely maneuver with it, that's no, I can't do that. Can't handle that. Can't hang that.
Well, you know what?
Can't hang it. Can't swing it.
I'm looking at it now, and even some of like the AI portrayals of it, um, it doesn't technically allude to the fact that it's a screen. Like it almost looks like it's just going to be like a trackpad.
The ones that I'm seeing, the ones that I saw, it looked more like I'll try to see if I can't send you one of the ones I found because it's kind of
There's
exactly what I'm talking about with the hole punch
there
sticks.
is definitely some that are for sure just like a screen, but then like
But oh, I think I might even see exactly which fucking picture you're talking about.
yeah, yeah.
Which I mean, actually, you know what? That is not the worst implementation of it either. Like just being so real. That's what I thought they were doing when I first heard about it. This is not the worst PS5 screen controller. But again, you really need to upgrade the battery life for something like this because I'm literally looking at a picture of one that just has Fortnite running on the fucking controller. We live in a
See,
society, dude.
that's not gonna happen.
Me when
I
I can
think
play funny Peter Griffin gun game on my fucking DualSense controller.
if Sony like because I don't know too much about this controller. I don't know. Um,
I wish, yeah.
if they are gonna try to implement like a screen in this controller, I think they're gonna do like a. It's not gonna be like the full thing's not gonna be a screen. Like it'll probably be like a balance of like trackpad, like like bigger than what the DualSense already has now, and then like a tiny screen
Right.
maybe. Like it's not all gonna be one screen. That's not happening.
No, totally. And as cool as that would be, yeah, no, that's those AI, those tin skin mock-ups are cool and all. That's not happening. It's just not fucking happening. It can't happen and it won't happen. And like I said, if it does happen, then they better put hole punch control sticks because if they don't, then it's going to sell like piss and they're never going to do anything innovative again.
Right?
That's the biggest thing is that like if they do this controller and they don't do it right, they're never going to make something cool and new again. They're probably just going to stick to the dual sense for the next 10 or 12 years.
Yeah. Oh my God, what the that kind of reminds me of like the Nemesis system. The Nemesis. Oh, what was that called?
Yes.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
The rival system?
Rive, is
What
that
the
what it's
fuck?
called?
Wait, for what specifically are you talking about?
I don't know.
No, like is it like in a game or something? I
Yeah, it was like a really cool mechanic that was and I don't I it might have been I think it was like a really weird obscure game that you wouldn't think like a Wonder Woman game or some shit. Um and it was really cool and like just about breakthrough for the shadow or for the um like time period that this game came out was used in like one game, never returned, but it was like super cool. Yeah, okay.
Ooh, that it sounds like I maybe have heard what you're talking about, but God, that sounds
I
I
was a
don't
little
know,
bit I
maybe?
was okay, so I was a little bit wrong. I don't know where I got Wonder Woman, but so the Nemesis system is a unique gameplay mechanic first introduced in Middle-earth Shadow of Mordor. It allows non-playable characters, particularly orcs, to remember their past encounters with the player, creating a dynamic and personalized experience. It was used in like 3 games and then never used again.
I see.
Because when it first came out, people were like, "This is weird. This sucks." Blah blah blah. And then they were like, "Okay, fine. We just won't incorporate it in anything else."
So it maybe sounds like a like slightly tweaked version of like a karma system almost.
Yeah, maybe.
Of like the like worse and worse deeds you do, the more and more the world will react to it. Don't mind my alarm system, please.
And so like
But
I think
yeah.
I think the idea of this system has like somewhat been used, but it can't be used to its full extent because somebody has the rights to like the actual like mechanic, and they just won't use it. Like they've just been sitting on it.
how that's that's what the whole that's like. Yeah, they're supposed to just sit on it and let it make money
No,
because
the
it's only
fuck
theirs.
they're not.
So
Well, because that's the
yes,
thing,
they
right?
are. What
Well,
else do you expect the poor game companies to do?
that's the thing, right? If it was making
They're just little game
if
companies.
it was making them money, sure, but it's not because that fucking game that they was used in is like
They're
fucking
just little game companies. They can't even do no wrong. Don't hurt the defenseless company. No, I'm
uh,
obviously joking, but
no, I got
it's
you.
yeah, no, I agree. It's fucking that. I
2014. This
feel
game
like
came out in
I've
2014.
yeah, I feel like I've heard of at least something similar to what you're talking about, and yes, that would be a very cool thing to implement into fucking anything now. But yeah, that's the whole thing with innovation is that like if it's not well received, the person innovating probably just isn't going to innovate again.
Oh.
Internet and innovation part two. That was a
Full
joke.
circle, baby. Full circle.
Um, but yeah, that is like one of the biggest things too. Is like game companies kind of have to stop fucking like just doing that, where they just make weird choices for no fucking reason other than just because they own the property, because they own the thing. He's gone again, and he's done talking, or unless he thinks
No,
I'm not
no.
done talking.
Yeah, I thought there was a little bit more there. No, no, no. But no, I agree. Like, oh, I don't know. It'd be cool to see mechanics like that come, or like not exactly like that, but like sort of cool dynamic mechanics like that come out in newer games because I think newer games kind of need that, Like,
Uh, Not to immediately circle back to Cyberpunk, but that would be a very cool system for Cyberpunk to have.
right,
And that could like kind of play into like a bigger like karma feature with like the gangs and stuff of like you're standing with Maelstrom and the
right.
Tiger Claws and the animals and the scabs and the nomads and things like that.
Like, I don't know. It'd be cool. Like, it would be, and
It would be
obviously that system itself is probably like it could probably be tweaked a little bit because the game at least that I have that I know it was used on is 12 years old, but
yeah, no, I'm sorry I went silent for a second. I had to do math in my head, but fuck. Yeah. Yeah, that is correct. That is correct. Oof.
yeah, I wish it wasn't correct. I'm not gonna lie, but
Yeah, yeah, you and me both, buddy. But that's okay. That's okay. That's just, I'm only 20, man. I'm not supposed to feel like that yet. Fuck you.
fuck. Wait, I turned
What?
20 this year. What the fuck?
Yo, that's awesome, dude.
God, that don't feel real. You you
Dude,
already turned.
we should totally make like a Fifth Saints parody where like I give you like Big Drew's top 10 rules to being 20 or some shit. And it's literally just like the worst advice I could ever give you.
like shitty loading screen tips.
Even worse, like ruin
Uh,
your life type shit. The best way to get noticed on the internet is to say a racial slur in a well-known area.
Want attention? Say the N word.
Hey, YouTube Clanker, that was a joke and a comedy parody, not meant to be taken
Oh shit!
seriously.
I forgot that we were on YouTube.
I know, yeah,
Uh,
it's the difference between Twitch and you. That's the difference between stream and podcast. That's the kind of experience you're not getting, in either one. We have to make it come back for some reason. We can't just fucking. Well, what the fuck kind of streamers would we be? You know. I I know I also this is not gonna be like a game related, but in like kind of the same because we talked about Fortnite low key, and now I'm thinking about Bugs Bunny and Looney Tunes. Uh,
no, no, go
have you
off,
ever
go
heard of
off,
this
pop
film
off.
called also, like, I just can't find a super great transition. But have you ever heard of this film called Coyote versus Acme?
Like,
Coyote versus Acme.
no,
No? Yeah,
no.
like I can't imagine you're like the biggest Looney Tunes fan ever either, crazy enough. But and it makes sense that you wouldn't have heard of it because it doesn't exist. Or at least it didn't until today when they released the fucking trailer for the thing. Because here's the story behind it, right? It was originally made by Warner Brothers, the makers of Looney Tunes.
Hmm.
Uh, and they had it all ready to go, and they had the movie, and everybody really liked the sound of the movie because it sounded like just a great time. It sounded like a
Right.
great use of the Looney Tunes IP, and the fans loved it. And then taxes, because they wrote off the film and it never saw the light of day. Everybody was pissed
I'm
because it was very
sure.
obvious that it was just like that you remember that mission in GTA where the Devin Weston guy, he takes the film for no other reason than it's going to make him a little bit more money. Like when Michael is doing the whole thing with the ancient film director guy.
Um,
You may not, but that's okay.
no, no,
If
no.
if
Well, I know
if
exactly what
the
you're talking about. That's not why he takes the
Well,
real.
because I remember it being because the movie was done, and then Devin was something about like, oh yeah, it's all about the tax breaks, dude. Like, yeah, we just wanted to get this film finished.
Um,
I could be wrong, but what if you remember the actual thing? What was it?
well, I'm trying to rack my brain a little bit. If I remember correctly, it's because he wanted to turn the studio into a different, like, apartments or some shit. And he didn't want the movie going out because it would prove that the studio is still doing shit. So he could, I think, on top of that, since the movie was finished, he could use it as like an insurance claim for the film being
Okay, I feel
destroyed and
I
getting money from
that
that, or
that makes
something
sense.
like that. Something like
Oh,
that.
from the film being destroyed. No, that actually makes a lot more sense now that I'm just putting a little bit of real thought into it.
I don't actually remember.
Okay,
Don't
so
take that with like a grain of salt because I don't actually remember too
okay, but
well.
either
But
way, the point is that in that sort of thing, the whole joke is he's just greedy, greedy. The movie's
yeah,
done, the
no,
movie is ready to be
exactly.
released.
Yes,
He's greedy,
yes, yes.
is the point. And that's what happened with this film. It was literally like the film was released, fans were excited, and the days were for Looney Tunes were looking bright, and then all of a sudden, without any warning, the film is just scrapped. The entire thing is just fucking gone.
That's crazy.
I know. So what ends up happening is that word gets out about that online. Crazy enough as that happens, then somebody buys the film. I cannot remember who bought I want to say it's somebody called Ketchup Films, but that doesn't sound right. But I feel like there was a tomato or some sort of tomato sauce involved in the
Uh-huh,
company
uh-huh.
somewhere. Something along those lines. Don't ask me why I feel like that. I just do. Um, they bought the film and then they, kind of retweaked it a little bit to, make it a little bit more suitable for today, I guess. And now they released the trailer for it today. They released the first trailer for it, and
Huh.
it looks so good, dude. Like me, I'm a big Looney Tunes fan. I am Mr. Looney Tune. That's me. But even just like aside from like being a Looney Tunes fan itself, this is a win for the common people, dude. This is a win for us.
Yeah. Well, and it's
It was like the whole Sonic thing when we bullied Paramount into making a better design.
right, right. Well, because I mean, that's interesting because I imagine is it coming out this year, 2026?
I think so. And if it is, it's going to be late 2026. I do know that.
That
But
that checks
if
out.
it,
That checks out. Because that's
yeah, I
kind of
believe it most likely is, yes.
I feel well. I feel like it's kind of the opposite of like what where the Avatar movie's at right now.
Oh,
Because like
oh, yeah. I've heard about the Avatar movie too.
obviously it's been in development for a while, but like it was in development with the idea that it would make it to theaters, but the whole thing is just leaked now. Like
The
all of it,
entire thing. Yeah.
all of it. And they're doing their best. I think it's Paramount. I want to say it's Paramount is doing their best to like copyright strike any clips that make it like to YouTube or Instagram. But I've had some slip through. Like
Oh
I've
yeah, no, for
definitely
sure. Yeah.
um
Funny fact, actually, like this doesn't have to do anything with anything, but I thought this was about the blue guys at first again. I always
no,
get them
no.
confused. I always get the Airbender and blue avatars confused. I always do, and I was a little bit upset when I learned that it wasn't actually the blue avatar.
Have you heard
I I
about
do
the
I I do like the Airbender avatar. Don't get me wrong, but I was expecting funny blue guy.
No, no, this is in relation to the Airbender guy who had his
No
whole
complaints
movie
there, believe
leaked.
me. No complaints there. I genuinely like I when I found that out, it wasn't disappointment that it was Airbender. It was disappointment that it wasn't blue.
No, I got you. I got you. I got you. Could you
I
imagine
I
if a
honestly
whole
I
ass
like that
Avatar,
show.
like the Blue People movie was leaked?
That
I
would be
think
really funny.
I think the mouse would have a hit team on people, honestly.
I think so. Oh my God, that is a Disney property, isn't it?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
No shit. Yeah, so that's just never happening then. But
He'd have the
no, but
stormtroopers on him, bro.
oh, definitely.
Oh. Anyway, because that's an unfortunate situation too. Like that movie. I was excited to go watch that in theaters too. I probably still am going
The
to,
Avatar
obviously, but
Airbender movie.
yeah.
Yeah, I I'm gonna be so honest. I remember watching it as a kid. Full stop.
See me.
Not the movie, but
No,
the
no, no.
the show,
The
obviously.
show, yeah. Well, because that's why I would like. That's why I want to go support the movie is because like I remember it like as a kid, like it was a really cool show to watch as a kid,
You
and
know,
it's cool to see them furthering that like world.
absolutely, yeah. I'm
Um,
just surprised that like, because wasn't the whole thing about it that people would just like wanted it to be released not on Christmas was the thing, or and maybe I'm completely misunderstanding that, but it just didn't come out like when they wanted it to, if I'm not mistaken.
I I don't actually um I'm not entirely sure. I just know that it was leaked. I'm not entirely sure what the circumstances are of it being leaked.
This because shout out Dolan Dark with Slop Live. That's just where I get my information from. Is I could be fully wrong, but I get it from Funny Duckman playing what's it called? Oh my God, what's the game? Fall Guys. Fall Guys.
Right.
So that's again, that's just what I've heard about the movie, but I have not done a ton of research. I'm not particularly invested in the Avatar franchise. I do
Yeah.
enjoy it, but it's definitely not like my childhood show or whatever.
No, for sure. I just think the idea of this movie being leaked is kind of unfortunate.
Oh, it totally is. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Um, there are lots of other cool movies coming out this year though. Like have you
Yeah.
checked our theaters like app or website for
I
advanced
have
tickets
actually. No, we
that you
totally
can
have
get
some
right
cool
now?
shit coming up. Yeah.
We have the fucking Mandalorian and Grogu for pre-order right now. Devil Wears Prada.
Oh
Michael.
my God, that's right.
Mortal Kombat 2
I've
is coming
ooh,
out soon.
I've heard some things about Michael is the only thing.
I'm not necessarily saying that it's like gonna be hype or it's just one of the things we have on our like pre-order tickets
Right.
because I've also heard some
I
things about Michael. Oh,
yeah. I know I personally, I, 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 I enjoy the Looney Tunes property. Obviously, I'm very excited for Acme versus or Coyote versus Acme. But then another one I'm excited for. This one's kind of a niche film. You may not have heard of it, and if you have, then bonus points. It's called YouTube Clanker. I really want you to discern my language here. The movie is called Fockers in Law. Fockers. Fockers in Law. And it follows. It's a sequel movie. It's the fourth in a franchise, and the entire thing follows this fella who married into this family, and the dad's kind of an obsessive, creepy weirdo. Not like like obsessive with him, but he's ex-military, so he's like super fucking like stuck up, stick up the ass, like if you touch my daughter, I'll touch you type shit.
Uh-huh.
Very, very much like a nightmare scenario, meet the parents scenario, which is what the first movie is called. It's called Meet the Parents.
Wait, I think I have seen a little bit about this. Yes.
Meet the Parents came out, and then the movie after that was called Meet the Fockers, which followed the same
Yes.
family.
Yes.
The marriage had either already taken place or this was like in the lead up to the marriage. And great movie. We find out there's another surprise for the third movie, which it's literally in the title, so it's not a spoiler if I say it. A baby happens in the second one, and the third movie is called Little Fockers, which is about the kids and these two living with their children and their fucking crazy CIA dad. Um, and I haven't seen that one yet. That's the only thing is I haven't seen that one yet. This new one is this movie came out in 2010, by the way, Little Fockers. So this movie is 16 years overdue, has all the same actors, and if I'm not mistaken, is going to follow now the kids and their sort of like
Uh-huh.
relationships in life and whatnot. That's what I've heard about it. I cannot confirm or deny. But I literally woke up to a text today from my grandmother, who I know watched these movies because she showed me these movies. And she was like, "Hey, so when it comes out, it's not out yet, but when it comes out, you've got to take me to this movie." And I told her, of course I would.
For sure,
I
for
cannot say
sure.
no to Gammy Gam who wants to see the movie.
I mean, especially when we've got free movies.
Free movie. I mean, honestly, even if it costed money, I kind of am interested in what the story is from
No,
there.
you know that that's
I
so true. That's so true.
the the second movie, which is where I stopped, like, was where my hello, which is where my knowledge stops. It ends with the parents going into the RV to fuck. So that's legitimately the last bit of knowledge I have from this series.
Right.
And
I
then there's like
mean,
some sort of a baseball player or something, and then he's got like I don't know. It's a big thing. It's a big anyway.
because we work in a movie theater, like I'm always a little bit intrigued on like when our next like busy weekend is gonna be. Um
Oh
like
yeah,
friggin'
totally.
like I work on Friday and I have two managers working um until one with me, which is crazy. I haven't seen that in a hot minute. I was like, what could this possibly be for? I think it's for Michael. Um
It could be for Michael. I honestly think they're expecting a bigger turnout from that than it's gonna be.
I don't think it's gonna be too big, but I think the anticipation is for Michael. Um but we've got some killer movies coming out soon. Like
No, totally. Yeah. I
I
don't
mean
have my phone up right now at this moment, but another one I'm pretty hyped for is Minions. And that's not
Minions.
because that now that on the surface that just sounds like, oh yeah, funny little yellow man. Ha ha ha. But I'm excited for Minions because of what happened the last time a Minions movie came out in theaters. I remember, if you remember, Gentle
Oh, I
Minions
know,
was
I
like the
know.
biggest fucking thing when Minions Rise of Gru came out. I I'm so curious because I did that. I remember going to see
I know,
Minions
I
in a
know.
suit. So I'm so curious to see if any more trends like that are going to spawn from Minions and monsters.
I am you know what's gonna be really cool to see too though? It's gonna be cool. Well, it could potentially be cool to see that from the theater worker's perspective too. Like
Exactly, that's what I'm thinking. Because last time I walked in there. My friend had a banana suit on, and the usher at the podium was like, he had candy in the banana tip. You know, it was very obvious too. It was dangling around like a banana nut sack. So it was very, he was not hiding it. But we were all wearing suits and he was in a banana costume. So the podium guy, like, fully was just like, dude, just enjoy your movie. Make sure you don't sit with that in front of the projector, you know? And then like, to be
Oh,
fair, at the very end when the credits started rolling, he started jumping up and down to like put the banana tip on the fucking screen because the shadow and
oh,
shit.
I'm
But
sure he did. I'm sure he did.
oh, I have a video of it.
Yeah, I think I might have seen this actually.
Probably, yeah. I have a video of him fucking jumping up and down and like, there's my banana on
Oh.
the screen. There's my banana.
No, I that's so real actually. See, but like it's one of those
It's like
things
the
because
opposite of how I feel for Minecraft too, you know?
well, because that's the thing, right? Is like I wonder if a trend like the Gentle Minions will get skewed by somebody wanting to recreate Chicken Jockey. Like what
No,
is
I'm
is
gonna
there
be
a
so
point
honest. I
where those will collide
no
at all? Like,
no, I really don't think they will, and here's why. Gentle Minions, when there was a little thing, right? I remember this very vividly. There was a thing where some theaters were banning Gentle Minions because kids
yes,
in suits would be
yes.
coming in, throwing popcorn, throwing banana peels, just, you know, being nuisances. Once they started like, hey, don't fucking do that. The internet kind of caught hold. Like, if you are doing this, then you're not doing Gentle Minions, and you can't fucking claim that you are.
Yeah. No, 'cause I remember
Because
people
that's the whole point. You go in
it,
there and act
it was dude,
sophisticated.
no,
You know,
no,
you're going to
because
see minions.
it was such a weird phenomenon to watch in real life because I'm remembering this now because there were people all over that was like, guys, you have like people were taking it so seriously and it
They
was
were, you know.
really it was really interesting to see that unfold in real time.
And that's why that's why it's like that's why I say it's the exact opposite how I feel about the
Yeah,
Minecraft thing
yeah,
is because no matter what trend spawns from the minions, I really do think it's going to be the same audience of like no, just like, you know, the trend will be like class, you know, the trend will be class and not crash, you know.
right. Because I guess right, it'll definitely be more of like I don't care about going to watch the movie at all. I'm curious to see if like another trend like that will pop up.
You know, exactly. And it's, you know, with the Minecraft, it's like I'm really curious and hopeful that another trend doesn't fucking
Yeah,
pop up
right,
because
right.
Minecraft, that is the audience that just said, fuck it, the theater is our canvas, you know. They did not have any fucking buddy telling
Well,
them, okay, Chicken Jockey isn't funny when you're bringing fireworks into the theater, guys.
and that's the thing, right? Is because like for a little bit there, the like movie like the directors and stuff were encouraging it. Like
They were, I remember that. Yeah. I
whereas
swear that's true.
I feel like for Gentle Minions, Illumination was almost like they almost were like, hey, yo, guys, don't do that. Like
Just like, yeah, they were like, yeah, no, just wear your suit, but don't make a mess, man. Like,
if they even got it, I don't even know if they got involved.
I don't think honestly it would I would not be surprised if they didn't. This was kind of still before the brand interaction era.
Yeah, yeah,
But yeah, no, it's like it's the difference between, you know, the people who said fuck it, let's just make as big of a mess as we can, and the people who said let's try to have some fucking tact, fellas.
right.
Let's not just do that bullshit like they're doing over there.
No,
That's
that is very intriguing. I'm curious because that comes out soon too, I'm pretty sure. Like
I I want to say one of the J months, yeah.
I'm pretty sure it's May.
Is it May? It could even be, honestly. I'm not too sure
Hold on.
personally.
Let
Crazy as it
me
may seem, somebody who's only interested in the minions for the trend that it may spawn is not too interested in the release date.
No, right. Like that's no, okay, no. I thought it might have been late July. It is or late May. It is July 1st. So
Okay, so
just barely
I thought I
July.
saw one of the J months.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So I'll give us both half a point. Fuck it.
Not because it's July, so they're still June,
Oh, July.
July.
No, that's right. There's still June in front of it. So
Yeah,
yeah, I'll
so
give myself a
yeah,
full
you
point and you
no,
nothing.
you were definitely correct. You know what else I'm excited for in July though?
Ooh,
Fucking
are you gonna say Spider-Man?
Spider-Man. Bro, I'm
Yeah,
so excited.
Spider-Man.
I'm excited to go.
No,
Except that's the quite opposite, right? I'm excited to watch Spider-Man. I'm not excited to work
yeah,
Spider-Man.
yeah, exact
Oh,
opposite. Yeah, like with Spy. Oh, I just thought of another thing you just made me think of too. But with Spider-Man, it's almost one of those things where it's kind of dependent on what town you live in.
oh my
And
gosh, yeah.
no offense to our town, no offense, but slight offense. Our town is not only very dumb, but also like, dude, we've got some greasy ass kids in this town.
Hmm.
I remember this too because I had my gammy grandmother, my sweet grandmother, take me to the fucking opening of
Oh my God.
like it was the midnight release of Pokemon Violet. Pokemon Violet, that's right. We
Hmm.
went to GameStop for a midnight release, and I swear we had to go sit in the car because of just how cheesy it smelled in the fucking
Oh my
GameStop.
God. Yeah. Dude, well,
Like we've got some fucking gross people here, man.
oh my God. When would No Way Home have released?
2021? No, that's the three Spider-Man movie, right?
It's Spider-Man
Yeah,
No
it's
Way Home. Yeah, yeah.
Homecoming, Far From Home,
Oh
No Way
my
Home. Yeah.
God, are you kidding me? It's been 5 years.
Been about just about 5 years, yeah, and that is crazy because I remember. I'm gonna say this too,
Jesus.
and I hope our employers don't find me and shoot me for saying this. I watched it on 1, 2, 3 movies. I remember having to contain my excitement because I couldn't scream because it was like super close to Christmas and everybody was on a normal sleep schedule.
Hmm.
And I wanted to scream when fucking Andrew jumped through the portal because that was my favorite
Well,
Spider-Man ever.
dude, I went opening night to the theater of No Way Home. And let me tell you something, okay?
Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something.
If Brand New Day does even half of what opening night did
Hmm.
for No Way Home, me and you are Loki, like we're gonna need to lock in
We've got it
because
though. I mean, come on.
because all of the lines were basically to the door, all of them.
That sounds like basically about what weird is this is gonna sound to say what How to Train Your Dragon did over this summer
Oh
or this
yeah,
last summer. I don't even know how to explain it. That movie was really busy for no fucking reason.
dude, like there was based, and this was 4.5 years ago, but from what I remember, there was not a spot to stand in our lobby. Like
Hmm.
it
Hmm.
was bad. It was bad. So
No, I fully, yeah, I believe me, I
I'm
fully expect when this movie releases to like have to like pray.
no, dude, I'm so excited to watch it. I'm not excited to work it.
Yeah,
But
but like going back to that greasy point, you, dude, the Digital Circus finale is
no
gonna
my
stink.
except that's not coming to our theater, is it?
Is it not? I'm not sure. I didn't think that about fucking Iron Lung, and then look what happened.
True. So I know. Do you,
We've got some greasy people in this town, and
we
if we
do.
called and got Markiplier movie here, we
Well,
can
okay,
call
okay.
and get
Do
Digital
you
Circus.
do you remember or do you happen to know when this is due to come out?
No, I don't follow that shit that closely. I just know about Pomni, dude.
Me either. I know
I just know about funny clown
that
character
like one or
and
two
the dentures.
months, about 1 month before the Stranger Things finale was set to be in theaters.
I remember this.
If you looked it up on our website, like or on our app, it would bring up, the actual like it would bring up the information, but it wouldn't show tickets. Our app is
Hmm.
doing the same thing for the Amazing Digital Circus. You can see it, but it's not pulling up tickets.
Okay, then I guess. Okay, in the hope slash possibility that it doesn't come to our theater, good. But
I
for
guess.
anybody else who does have to deal with that shit, just know
Oh,
two brothers in Cinemark are praying for you.
um, this says right here release date June 4th. So I guess there's every chance we have time for that
I
shit
mean,
to.
yeah, that's
Ugh.
enough for people to call in and ask. And to our corporate overlords who do hear us now, please don't. It will make you money, but it will make us unhappy.
What you did was not nice.
What you did was not nice. You shouldn't do that.
Anyway, no, because those,
Any
dude, those are about to be rank. Those are about to be.
They're gonna stinky, man. They're gonna stinky. Like our
No, but
theaters already get left pretty fucking bad after some movies, dude. But oof,
that fucking the
that did hurt.
opening that of Spider-Man No Way Home was kind of grody though, because fucking there was people filling up that lobby, and some of them are Marvel nerds.
They're stinkers, man.
You know the
Yeah,
kind of
they're
Marvel
stinkers, man.
nerds.
No, believe me, I know, man. There's some
Ugh.
stinkers. Got some stinkers in this town.
But dude,
It's like
that
it's
was
like
a.
it's like Left 4 Dead, the boomer.
I've seen Fortnite lobbies less sweaty than that one, bro. Oh,
No, that's real as shit, dude. Every single person in there has my problem, and that shit's scary. I don't want. I'm supposed to be unique.
now, speaking of Marvel, though, to kind of go back to games for a second, I'm really excited for the
The
Wolverine
Wolverine.
game. Yeah,
Oh, Wolverine's gonna be so cool. Wolverine's gonna be so fucking cool.
because
The
I
thing about
wonder
Wolverine too is that this one has been in production for a
a
minute, man. It
minute,
feels like
and it's. I'm not wrong in thinking that it's Insomniac, right?
Insomniac is doing this. Yes,
Yeah, dude, I'm really excited.
the Spider-Man, Ratchet and Clank guys are doing this.
Like, I
That's
feel like it's
I'm just
gotta be
look. I'm just
good.
gonna say it. I felt like their Ratchet and Clank game, little polished, sure, but you know what? I it was like how I felt when I was playing the first Ratchet and Clank as a young boy on the PS2. So you know what? I'll take it. So I trust them with my Wolvie.
And I
Which
wonder,
that's anybody listening, if you tune into the okay, if you tune into if you tune into the Fifth Saints podcast that we not podcast, sorry, live stream that we do every once in a while, you'll see you'll totally see me and Joseph play Deadpool Wolverine in a project that we're doing coming up.
oh yeah,
And it's not like anything like cool, so don't like we're not doing it like a movie or anything. That would be really cool, but like a media project, like just something where like we're gonna do as well as what we're doing now. Anyway, yeah, so Wolverine.
I'm curious because I mean, I personally think that they did fantastic with the Spider-Man games, but
I liked them a
um,
lot.
like I'm curious to see like movement-wise what they go with him, like because I actually like despite being really excited for it, I haven't seen a whole lot about it, so I don't even know where it's taking place. Like I don't
So
like
I honestly wouldn't be surprised if they like almost made him play more like Batman, honestly.
right,
Because Spider-Man, obviously, you have the really bouncy, swingy mechanics that
very
bring you up into the fucking
dynamic,
air, and
yeah, very
you
dynamic
can like
web.
hit people across a fucking parking lot and shit, you know. Wolverine, I feel like, is going to be more so about like just the brutality of his shit, and like I feel like that's reflected in the trailer because he gets covered in fucking blood.
Yeah, yeah.
So I'm like, I imagine it'll focus on more like just the brutality of taking down hordes of enemies at once.
And I feel like they have potential to do really cool things with his, like with the story too. Like
Yeah, absolutely.
I forget, dude, the first inside, like the first PS4 Spider-Man, bro. I love that story so much. Like I think they just did a
I mean,
really good job.
I'm sure. God fucking damn it! I'm sure I've talked about it on stream. I know I have. But dude, Spider-Man 2 is still and like even that one wasn't as well received. That one is still like one of my top 5 games by far.
Right? Yeah, yeah,
I thought some of the story beats could use work, but that was not what it
yeah.
was about for me. The feeling of like Spider-Man 1 was a good like Spider-Man game, you know. This one was kind of a good Peter Parker game in that like I don't know, it almost felt more like there was more on the line for him in this game.
Mm-hmm.
Like some like because he was getting ready to lose himself to the fucking Venom virus and shit, you know. It's like no offense, but Spider-Man feeling hopeless and lost against a horde of team like a team of whores, you know, that's not that's a comic staple, you know. I really like so is Venom, so is losing himself to Venom, but I feel like that kind of happens less frequently than getting overpowered by a strong foe.
Right.
You know, Venom kind of sticks with Eddie Brock pretty closely in the comics, so I don't know. I just thought what they did with Venom in that game was pretty cool. I thought the story of Venom was pretty cool. I honestly gameplay too. Like I don't know. I think combat worked a lot better in Spider-Man 2 than it did in 1 just because of the gadget wheel shit, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
You know, honestly, I'll even probably go ahead and like yes, Spider-Man 1 was a better Spider-Man game, Spider-Man 2 is a better Peter Parker game. I stand by that. But I honestly feel like Spider-Man 2 had the better gameplay and then Spider-Man 1 the better story.
I think I would agree with that. I think I would agree with that assessment.
And it's not even Spider-Man 1's fault, you know. It's like a lot of it is just limits from the technology of the time. Like
No, exactly,
when
'cause I
when I
mean,
when I switch from 1 to 2 or from 2 to 1, it feels heavy slow. It feels like I am moving through fucking syrup. But
a
that's
little
just
bit,
because
yeah.
the map is not nearly as big. You know, when I'm moving through Queens, Brooklyn, New York City, fucking what downtown, whatever the fuck. I've never been to New York, but you know, I'm swinging through all that shit. Of course, I'm gonna have to be faster. You know, and of course, the game was made with the like usage of the SSD, so the speed is just unmatched. You
And
know, the speed of which you can move is just crazy.
but yeah, yeah, I think like also gameplay wise for number two is they were able to learn a little bit from number one. So like obviously
Yeah,
there's gonna
yeah.
be upgrades. Like
Of course, yeah. Like I
and that's
remember one thing that I like it kind of in the vein you're talking about right now is they had the Miles Morales game, you know, and
yeah,
obviously there
yeah.
were insane improvements from that one too. They still kept a lot of things like the weapon gadget wheel, which just it slows down combat a lot is the problem. But Miles Morales did upgrade the swingaloo speed.
Hmm.
So, you know, very valid point.
But like I with the stuff that they did with like the Spider-Man games, I'm curious like what they learned that they can apply to Wolverine. Like and how his gameplay is gonna go and like I'm really excited.
Totally, yeah. If um if the Wolverine game though, this is the one thing like about it. If it like is anything under like 8 hours, I'm gonna kind of wonder where the fucking time went for it, you know?
Right?
Like, and not that like, you know, like, oh, the art assets and, you know, the music and whatnot. Not that that doesn't take a long time too. But for the amount of time that we've been working on it, if the story is like just lackluster and it becomes like a fucking collectathon or some shit after a while, I'm not gonna be able to handle that. They haven't done
I
that yet,
yeah.
but I wonder how they'll kind of behave with a with like more Batman type title, you know, like less of like a like swingaloo around kind of I don't I don't know. If I'm trying to like if what I'm trying to say makes sense at all, but I think what I'm kind of trying to say is like if they can kind of work it into like just being like an open world thing and not like having to stay in like one place,
Oh
you know,
yeah,
and just
yeah.
collect a bunch of shit, you know?
Yeah.
Like I want it to be like Spider-Man does, like where you can go around the fucking world because that is one thing that I kind of didn't really like about um Ratchet and Clank. And I know different properties, same company thing is the thing though, same company. So I'm wondering if it is gonna like that game was like it felt very just like locked down to worlds. Go here, do this thing. 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 Whereas with Spider-Man, it definitely more so felt like there was an excuse to why you were going there. You know, oh, I got to work here. I got to do this. Oh, this thing is like a fucking like there's a police scanner over here. And yeah, they have that they have like the ability for that in the form of like the police scanner or the crime reports or whatnot. I want them to kind of give that to Wolverine though.
Right.
Because mobility wise, Wolverine is not as good as Spider-Man. It's just a fact that needs accepting.
No, for
He is
sure.
just not as good as Spider-Man in terms of mobility. So they need to kind of balance out the keeping a grounded character grounded, without making it feel like you're stuck on a world. Then you travel to another world by fast travel to just do another thing, and then you
Right.
come back to do another thing.
Yeah, yeah. I wonder if they'll
You know,
take.
it's like it tried to connect it with story and whatnot with like, oh, you're in the past or you're in the future, and it's an alternate universe ruled by your evil enemy. I don't know. It felt very like story was an afterthought.
Yeah. I wonder
Which
if
granted,
for
Ratchet and Clank isn't known for its story, but
right, right. I wonder if for somebody like Wolverine, if they'll take a more of like the only kind of like example I can think of is like The Last of Us, where like it kind of gives you a little bit of an open area to explore, find some things, fight some enemies, and then you kind of like
right.
slowly progress your way through more areas. Like it's not fast travel per se, but it's like you're definitely not getting place by place by like swinging around like Spider-Man does. Like you're kind of
Yeah.
dynamically making your way to place to place to place. Like I wonder if they'll do something like that almost,
I would have to imagine something along those lines.
right? And I think for a character like Wolverine, that could probably work. Honestly,
Oh, totally, yeah.
I'm excited. I'm excited to see what they do with him.
I mean, because yeah, no, like either way, like the joy that will be brought upon many people's faces when they're just slashing through everybody
No, because that's gonna be the thing, right? Just
will be
like
pretty cool.
fucking ripping and tearing through people with the Wolverine club. Like,
It will be pretty fucking cool. Like whatever you want to say, Wolverine claws are a fucking cool thing to have.
well, because like for the Spider-Man games, it's like being able to swing through buildings and do all that shit. Like that's what made
Exactly.
the Spider-Man games fun. I think the slashing people with
You have an
Wolverine's claws is
invincible
gonna
hack
be
and slash guy. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Like that's like I feel like they have to put a decent bit of work into that because that's like his version of that is like, oh, I get to be Wolverine. Like it's just slashing
Yeah.
through people.
It's like because Wolverine is like one of the people that can go toe to toe with Hulk. So there's
Yeah, yeah.
Wolverine is pretty fucking cool. Like whether you want to admit it or not, Wolverine is pretty GD cool. Um, and that with that, it's like it's exactly like Spider-Man. He's one of the most recognizable Marvel characters by
Yeah.
far of all time. You ask somebody X-Men, they're gonna look at you weird if you say Charles Xavier. They're gonna give you a funny look if you say Jean Grey. But Wolverine, come on, man, every fucking buddy knows Wolverine.
Everybody knows Wolverine, bro.
Like that's like I swear to God, I had like a fucking themed birthday party at like 9 about Wolverine, man. Like everybody knows Wolvie. Wolverine is cool as shit too. Like, what can you
Oh
like
yeah.
that? That's like one of our like first big like exposures to like animalistic primal type power. You know, like that's cool as fuck. Like that's
Hmm.
unironically like one of my favorite like power sets in a character. You know, it's just like primalistic like beast characteristics. That's really cool. And Wolverine is like basically an embodiment of that with his claws and with his
Right.
super smell and with all that shit. You know.
I'm curious what version of Wolverine they're gonna go with. Like that's intriguing
Ooh, true.
actually.
Yeah.
Because there are
I'm
there
more so
are
intrigued as to what kind of X-Men will be featured in the game personally.
true, yeah, like I wonder who they'll yeah, that's a good point too.
Because it's like a squares and rectangles. It's like there is X-Men, like there is Wolverine without. Sorry, no, sorry. There is X-Men without Wolverine. There is, but there is no Wolverine without his X-Men. You know, like yeah, you could say, oh, he's a lone wolf. He doesn't need anybody, but like he's at his best when he has Storm and Cyclops by his side. Let's not mince our fucking words here. You know.
I think it ultimately depends on the story they're trying to tell with him. Because I think it could go either
Yes.
way. I think they could totally go with the lone wolf story if they do it right, or they could do the like, oh yeah, he's got you know these X-Men helping progress the story along. Like
Yeah. Something along those lines. Yeah. But like yeah, you get it is like the point of like it would be fun to see because even as references, even as reference,
yeah,
like they don't
yeah.
have to do anything in the story, sure, but even just like having the characters there is pretty important. Fucking Deadpool knew that with like having the mutants mentioned and showing them at one point. It was just like a little one-off joke scene, yeah, but they were showed.
No,
The
I
mutants were
agree. I agree.
there. And Deadpool's another one of those kinds of characters where he definitely works more without the X-Men. I will give him that, but he also it just feels like he's at his best when he's interacting with Wolverine, when he's interacting with Cyclops, or God, especially Spider-Man. Like let's not
Oh yeah.
pretend like that's not like a known duo as Deadpool and Spider-Man. And I really hope that like they get it right with like if they do put the mutants in there. If they want to do Lone Wolf, that's cool. But they can't do mutants for fan service is the only thing. They can't just have fucking Gambit in there for the sake of making a name for himself. Yeah,
I agree. I agree.
it has to be like, oh, Gambit's here because Gambit has a purpose and like, a reason for fucking existing. Otherwise people are going to tell, oh, he was in the Deadpool movie and had his moment. So we know you're just trying to capitalize on that.
Right, right.
Same thing with somebody like Jean Grey. Not really as much Jean Grey, but she's also kind of another character that if you do the wrong thing with her, people will just kind of see it as okay, she didn't fucking need to be here.
Right.
Which I think, I really think there isn't like a bad way they could implement the X-Men at this point. I'm really just excited to see what they do. Even more so, I'm excited for the Sentinels, the giant fuck off villains.
Yeah, yeah.
I I don't know though, because like the Sentinels is like a thing where they kind of seem overpowered when you think about them, but to fight against them would be my question. Like how would they fight against?
Right.
Because I don't know, it almost kind of registers to me as like a how the fuck do you fight Zeus? How the fuck do you fight Poseidon? How the hell do you fight Hades or Kronos or Hephaestus? How do you fight these giant gods? Oh, you just make it Kratos. You just make it a man who's so pissed that he can't fucking
Yeah,
die.
yeah.
I can only imagine they're gonna do something similar with Wolverine and the Sentinels, because the Sentinels are fucking giant. They're giant, and I'm pretty sure the
Huge.
Sentinels are
They're
the ones that can
huge.
adapt to anything. So like, how the fuck do you fight that? Oh, you just make it Wolverine. He's just pissed. He's just really pissed, and he's got claws to climb. So you know what? That's good enough for me. I can't even call that anything other than yeah, that's Wolverine. I can't. That is Wolverine. You know.
Yeah, I mean, I that is a interesting, like, I wonder what that looks like even gameplay wise, like what I
You
don't
know,
know.
like
I'm sure they have
like
their
again, like
ideas.
I would have to imagine something with I would have to imagine it would look like something with God of War, you know, like
Yeah,
with the Kratos,
exactly.
death fights. Because we didn't have too many like big guy fights in the God of War 4 and 5, unfortunately.
Yeah, yeah.
But I mean, in the first three, like, come on, there's no better feeling than taking down the fucking God of
No, I
Thunder,
agree.
dude.
I don't know. No, I guess there are like technically a couple in the newer God of Wars.
Well, there's the one with Fenrir, and then there's the one with Fenrir. That's the one I can remember is Fenrir. I don't actually remember if there was another one.
Um, oh, good. Dude, I need to play the first one again. Holy shit.
Yeah, see, that's
Um,
kind of where I'm at, you know. I remember Ragnarok pretty well. I could not fucking tell
nah,
you
dude, it's
too
been
many things
forever since
from before.
Ragnarok too.
I,
And
I can I
I
can like basically remember enough of Ragnarok is the thing.
yeah.
I don't know why I really like kind of just liked that story. But with Wolverine though, we keep like getting sidetracked. I think
Yeah,
or
yeah.
anyway, with Wolverine, yeah, the big fucking Sentinel is going to be like one of the cooler boss fights I would have to imagine, you know.
No, I 100% agree. I 100% agree.
Sorry, I'm kind of like trying to like semi-focus on what I'm doing in this fuck ass game real quick.
What are you up to?
I'm making epic escapes from the cops in GTA 5 Battle Royale.
Ah, I see.
I've just been unironically flying over Fort Zancudo, just bombing the entire fucking thing for like the past 30 minutes. I've been in the Sparrow for a good. Anyway, outside of the Wolverine game though, I'm kind of pretty hyped up for the This is gonna sound dumb, but VR Secret of the Mimic, you know, because it makes me somewhat happy that they're still paying somewhat of attention to the FNAF series, but I don't know. Like Secret of the Mimic itself, I don't like that game. I really don't. But I like what it represents. You know, I like the idea that it represents that we could still see like the return to FNAF lore or something, you know, because like it
Yeah,
keeps trying to make
yeah,
new FNAF lore and trying to like tie it back into itself, you know, like, oh, this is where the original animatronics came from, and you know, the because like Afton had his yellow ones, sure, and then Secret of the Mimic is like, well, the colorful ones came from a different costume shop. That's really fucking stupid, but I mean, I guess it ties back into the fucking lore a little bit. And I just want GTA 5 back, or GTA 5, fuck's sake. I just want FNAF back. And sorry, I'm really focused on this. I
no,
really want FNAF
you're good.
back
You're good.
because I'm one of the people who thinks that it's become way too fucking Freddy FNAF time, you know? Like it really doesn't feel like Five Nights at Freddy's anymore. It feels
I
like the
agree.
Poppy Playtime ripoff you wish Freddy Fazbear's was, you know?
No, I feel like it's kind of stepped away from what made it special in the first place, like what made it um loved in the
And it's like
first place.
with a game like Security Breach, I kind of get it, right? Because we as FNAF fans have been wanting an open world FNAF something for a
Yeah,
good minute.
yeah.
But even like God, just the way they did fucking Security Breach, let's not even get started on that one. But it just felt so much more like puzzle oriented than FNAF oriented, you know?
Yeah.
Because it's like it's not like you can't introduce new mechanics while still having it feel like Five Nights at Freddy's. I mean, look at FNAF 6. look at not security breach. I almost said security breach. Look at Pizzeria Simulator.
Yeah, yeah.
Like aside from the extra lore that added without making it super convoluted or confusing, it also like it felt like it felt like Five Nights at Freddy's. It felt like play the game, watch the camera, listen for noise, and end the night at 6. With security breach, it's one night. You spend one night there.
There wasn't a camera in FNAF 6.
Okay, no. But no, you didn't watch cameras. That's right. No, you're right. You didn't watch cameras. You watched like vent shaft things where the
Oh, okay.
animatronics
Okay. I guess you
be like
do.
little
You did
motion
have the
motion
motion
things.
sensor in the vent. I guess that's true.
So but no, you just fucking like proved my point exactly. It's like there wasn't even a camera in that game, but it felt so much like FNAF that it doesn't even
No,
matter
it did.
because like
It very much kept the
you're
like.
still you're still at a computer stuck at your desk, and your only form of safety is like these dumb little gimmicks that the company gives you while you're
Yeah,
looking
yeah.
left to right trying to avoid certain metal death. Like that was FNAF, man. That was FNAF. And then FNAF World came out. I don't have as big of a problem as FNAF World as everybody else does. I really don't. It didn't need to exist, yeah, but I thought it was fun. I thought FNAF World was pretty harmless, and I still think of it as a fun little like Easter egg in FNAF history.
FNAF World is like a trip. I love FNAF World.
It's
Oh.
so good. It's actually like unironically so good. Like I say it partly ironically. I do because it's fucking FNAF World, but it's actually a good game. Like unironically, if I could play FNAF World on PlayStation, I would probably already have a couple playthroughs done.
Oh.
And just simply for the fact that like it's a nice little gimmick, it's a nice little gimmick. And that even that goes to show you can do extra shit with the FNAF world without making it feel like just a ripoff of something else. But like I don't know. Like I play Garden of Banban to use my little controller powered drone to solve puzzles. I play Poppy Playtime to use my Vac Pack handy job, whatever the fuck it's called. That's what I use in that game to solve puzzles. I don't want to play Five Nights at Freddy's and use the Freddy Faz Digikey to fucking open every door and like unlock the next terminal or whatever the fuck it had you do with them. It's like what the fuck? This is not FNAF, And same thing with Security Breach. I did not need to. We spend all of this fucking time trying to stay out of their goddamn stomachs, and this little fucking bandaged up bastard is like, Freddy, can I hop in there to be safe? What do you mean to be safe? Every fucking time we've interacted with one of those stomachs in the past, it's only been dangerous.
Right?
Baby,
Yeah.
Fredbear, Springtrap, fucking Ennard. All of a sudden now Freddy's good, and also fucking just why not? You also just hop inside Freddy just because why not? That's why, because why not? It's mistaking innovation for inshitification. It's mistaking innovation for inshitification because we don't like keep Poppy Playtime, we don't keep Ban or games like that in the zeitgeist for so long because they're great masterpieces that need to be studied by like cinematographers for years to come. We keep them in the zeitgeist because they're shitty, because they're really fucking hilariously bad. Like I don't think I've seen like a single like person above the age of 10 say I like Poppy Playtime unironically. I don't think I've seen anybody that was not Markiplier say I love Ban and mean it unironically. Well, I don't even think Mark meant it unironically. I think Mark knows that it's a really shitty game, but he's just like trying to make a point that it knows what it's doing. Poppy feels like it's taking itself too seriously.
Yeah, yeah.
That's beside the point. That's for another day. The point is, like we don't want to have to fucking like solve all these dumb puzzles of just go here, go back there, go to this place, back to this place, fight this boss, go back to this place. That character's interesting. Goodbye, character. That's not what FNAF was. Phone Guy fucking was introduced in game one as your tutorial, and then proceeded to become such a mainstay that he's literally an obstacle in Pizzeria Simulator. I could not fucking tell you who that Edwin guy is, except for the fact that he made
Right?
the mimic, and it was difficult to put the pieces together.
Dude, I don't know I don't know where he fits in.
But unfortunately, something went so wrong, and now he can't do. All I know about is that he can only sing this stupid song now. His name is Edwin. 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 And like this is just kind of a side note for this game. That song did more fucking advertisements than Steel Wool even thought to do for that game. I didn't even know Secret of the Mimic was coming out until Extra Tuna or whatever the fuck, however you say their name, until they made their Jackie's Box song, and it's just the most like asinine bullshit song. It's good in the way of like you listen to it if your friend says don't play no trash shit on the aux. And then like that's what you play. That's when it's like it's at its best. But anything other than that, you're wasting your time listening to it, Loki.
Nah, because like you put a banger on and then you play that, and then you
Have
never
you,
get
dude?
trusted aux again.
Have I ever even actually showed you that song?
I think I know what you're talking about.
You might, and if you do, then good. Then I won't need to educate you. But yeah. Anyway, the point is, fucking Steel Wool sucks at it when it comes to the Secret of the Mimic. But this all started from the VR thing, and that is that I'm excited to like see, hopefully, if they can maybe put some more care into putting the series back to the way it was. Because we have kind of two sides of the same coin right now, right? We have FNAF with all of the characters they introduce in the book and the weird importance they end up giving them in the mainline games, which fucks you over if you didn't read the book, which I know I didn't. I read Silver Eyes Fourth Quad. So I read the Silver Eyes Twisted One and Fourth Closet. Those are the FNAF books I read. Anything else, those fucking Tales from the Pizzeria books, I just didn't care.
Yeah,
They seem like good stories, but I'm not that big of a FNAF fan anymore. And Edwin, I'm pretty sure, and David too, and the Mimic itself, like the entire fucking point of one of the mainline games, they're introduced in a book. And if you didn't read that book like I didn't, you were confused as shit at the end of the Security Breach DLC.
yeah,
Because it just seems like the way the DLC almost frames it at the start is that it's just another Afton. Is that it's just another way for the rabbit to live on. That's how they like. I swear to God, that's how they portray it in like the start of the DLC.
yeah,
Then
yeah.
only once you start to like go on, you learn about mixes and you learn about the Edwin and you learn about the Mimic and you learn about all the shit that came before and like GTA. Fucking hell, I keep saying GTA and and like FNAF 1 was never the actual beginning and there was always more before that. It almost felt like they didn't know what they were trying to do with the actual character of the Mimic. So they just kind of threw like 2 or 3 different things at the wall for it and just like whatever people liked the most is what they went with. Because it looks like the fucking Afton that you have in the final fight of Security Breach. It almost represents Burn Trap a little bit. And then fucking you have like the bullshit with hold on, give me a second here. You have the fucking bullshit with Vanny, who is also just another Afton at that point, and she also is even more confusing because is she like controlled by the mimic or by another Afton? You know, like Vanessa feels like the biggest fucking glaring plot hole because who's actually
Yeah,
controlling her then? You know, because if Afton is just the mimic remade, who the fuck is controlling Vanessa and what is the point of what it's doing with her?
bro. Andrew's um, opinions on FNAF could be a whole ass other podcast, bro.
I'm not even joking. Yeah, like we're kind of getting like way off. I know I'm kind of like fully rambling at this point, but look, getting back to the like sort of very start of my like rant here. Like they need to like take this fucking VR thing for Secret of the Mimic and take it from something that was just bullshit. This is my wish. Here we go. Here's how we'll tie it back. This is my wish list for the VR shit of Secret of the Mimic. Put more story in that unfucks the story. That would be my request is just fucking give us a good story again, man. For the next FNAF game, give us a good story. That's my wish list.
Oh yeah, kind of.
How long? What's the episode length? That?
We're at 211 right now.
Okay, so that didn't take up as much time as I thought it would. So then let's maybe look at something. Let's maybe look at ending a little bit on a higher note, on a little bit of a
Um,
higher note.
you know what I'm really excited for? Going kind of a fairly opposite direction. Um, I'm really excited for Subnautica 2. That's gonna be dope.
Subnautica 2.
Like
Subnautica 2 is gonna be
that,
so cool.
I'm really
Oh,
excited for
okay.
that.
So this will be a small side tangent because I'm pretty sure that this is like a big victory for people like us. Um, Crafton lost the lawsuit for Subnautica 2.
Correct.
So I'm
They
pretty
were
sure that means we're
reinstated.
gonna like, yeah, they were reinstated. So I'm pretty sure we have a better chance of seeing it on PlayStation, honestly.
Incorrect.
Better chance, better chance.
I'm pretty sure it's already
Incorrect.
confirmed.
I own both Subnautica 1 and 2 on this shit. There's no shot that at least at some point it doesn't come.
No, okay, sorry. It's coming to PS5. Subnautica 2 will be on PS5.
I know it's not
Early
going to be launching on PS5. I'm okay with that.
early access won't be on PS5. Sorry, that's what my incorrect was too.
No, yeah, no. PS5 it does not do beta programs super well, unfortunately. Like
But
beta apps, beta programs, it does not do them super well.
do we have? Did they say when the like actual release date's going to be, or is it still just going to be in like
No,
pre-access? Yeah.
it's been in limbo for him because if you remember, it was supposed to like the early access demo was supposed to release. Then the whole Crafton thing happened, so it's been
Yes.
in purgatory for a minute. It has not had any like developments, any updates, any
Um.
furtherings.
Except they confirmed the pre-access, like the early
We are finally
access
getting that. Yes, they
in
did say
May.
that like now that
It'll
we
be in May.
can,
It'll
they are
be in
putting it
May.
out. Yeah,
Yeah, it's going to be May.
they said now that we can, we are putting it out. So that's the best. Like I'm very excited for Subnautica 2 because like
I low
truthfully,
key.
I was gonna play it either way. Honestly, if it came out and it was good, I was gonna play it. If it came out and it was bad, I was gonna play it. If it didn't come out at all, I was gonna hope about it.
um,
But like with the Crafton winning, I can play it and feel good about playing it, you know? Like
yeah,
not like I'm
yeah.
betraying the people who made my one of my all-time favorites, you know?
That's so true. Actually, no, um. So whenever like the official release date's confirmed, it'll be on PS5. Um,
Yeah.
but as for like early access, um, we're out of luck.
No, yeah. And honestly, I expected that. I don't think PlayStation does uh demo. I don't think it does demo.
and
I
I,
think it does like trials. I think it does the trials, but I
yeah,
don't think it does
yeah,
demo.
and I can understand that. I can understand that a little bit. I low key
I guess I could too, yeah.
am considering hop in on the early access if I can, but
I mean, that would be very cool. I would love to see it.
we'll see. I don't
I still gotta get a play. I gotta get a PC.
gotta get a PC. Huh.
Working on it. Working on it. It's probably gonna be like at least another year though. Truthfully,
Yeah, yeah.
unless by some miracle Fifth Saints takes off and I can like just buy a PC within the next 2 or 3 months, it's most likely gonna be at least another year, like
Yeah,
bare minimum.
we'll see, I guess. I mean, dude, the fucking I got like I hadn't because Twitch can put the clips that we make on Twitch just straight onto Instagram. So I haven't actually looked at the Reels page for the fifth scram
Mhm.
until today. And when I saw 1,500 on one of our Reels, I was like, what the hell?
Oh
What?
yeah, that one had that many like before we even started uploading the new shit, man. Like that one was at 1,000, like basically 3 days after you uploaded it.
That's crazy. What?
Yeah,
We
no, like
gotta
that one
get
was
more
by far our
clips,
best
bro.
one. Oh
I
yeah. No, that
like
one was from Minecraft too. That one was the
yeah.
perfectly timed raid.
Well, I know exactly which one that is. Um, we gotta get more clips. Gotta play more games, get more clips.
For show. I I imagine at some point the oh my god, what's the game called? Holy shit. Played up clips. I imagine at some point the played up clips are probably gonna start doing pretty well too.
Yeah, yeah,
Because that's been our biggest like our biggest performer so far has been played up. We've had the most interactions on played up.
yeah. I wonder if that comes from. I have a feeling that comes more from the played up community on Twitch rather than.
I do too. Believe me, I do too. But either way, like that's still algorithmically reads as a viewer. It still
True.
algorithmically reads as something.
No,
And the played up community on Twitch. I mean, people have Instagrams.
true, true. An engaged viewer, nonetheless. Like that's
Yeah, no, like that. Like the last time we had a like actual active chatter, they were helpful, man. We and I noticed something too. We had one restaurant that game.
yeah.
One.
The entire stream was one restaurant. Yeah.
Like we could not have made it that far without that person. There's no shot.
You know what I'm a little bit um upset about though for that stream
What's that?
is somehow I don't exactly know how I must have like clicked my like shortcut to mute my mic because I'm muted for like a decent chunk of it, and we had a
Like the
chatter.
starting chunk or the ending chunk?
It's somewhere in the middle. It's somewhere in the middle. Um, so we had the chatter actively engaging in the video, and he didn't tell me that I was muted.
He may not have known, to be fair. Like
Yeah, I don't know.
I talk a lot.
It's okay,
Any, anyway, yeah, no, that's fine, I guess.
but that's
Well,
like I'm
I
excited to play more games on like just in general. Like
right, yeah, no, there's a lot to be excited for coming up. There's a lot of
it's
like very cool things that are getting actually released this year.
it's gonna be a good year. Subnautica 2
Oh yeah,
potentially, Wolverine, GTA 6.
all these games and more from both me and Joseph, and theoretically maybe a Pragmata playthrough because the fucking Cyber Stranding sounds absolutely awesome.
Dude, I know. I'm considering it. If you get it, I might like just watch you play it. I feel like you'd be a good one to do Pragmata, I'm not gonna lie.
I still refuse, I think, until they make a Sully and Boo costume for Hugh and Diana. If they do that, even if even if it's unofficial, even if modders do it, I saw them put CJ in the place of Hughes Model, okay, from fucking San Andreas. I know it's possible. I know it's possible. You have to give her like the little lampshade like eyeballs and everything. Like the little like mop head of hair, her little fucking outfit made out of couch leather. You got to give her the whole thing. Honestly, I don't even care if you just make Hugh's suit blue with some purple splotches. Just put care into the Boo costume, please. That shit would be so fire. Future modders of the world who are listening to us now. Anyway, that feels like a pretty
Yeah, yeah,
solid way to
yeah.
end the episode.
Look out for when we finally get our wish list items.
Yeah, man, like that's it's gonna look pretty great for the fifth saint.
Oh yeah. Hopefully it'll lead to lots of good content. That's the goal anyway. Thank
I'm
you
sure it will.
for tuning in to the Break Life podcast. We'll be here next Wednesday at 11 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. And then tune in over on Twitch, Sunset Saint Games, for a little bit more like active content. Um, if that's your style. Anyway, Andrew, hit it.
Thank you so much for watching this episode of the Break Life podcast. If you liked it, share it with a friend, comment your favorite timestamp, and type the word cheese into the comments. Thank you so much for stopping by. Have a great night, and we'll see you again real soon.